Howdy there, beautiful day here in Damascus. Got a Ryobi 2-cycle weed trimmer here, about 3 years old, and the primer bulb now has a crack in it and is leaking out. It's on its last leg, primer bulb wise. The weed whacker, 3 years of pretty moderate to heavy use. It's running great, but it's just that bulb has a crack in it. Between use and probably the ethanol and the fuel probably tore it up a little bit. So I took these screws out here. I could pull that off. Sit that over to the side here. And screws all the way around it. And with that off, I can take off these screws easier and replace this bulb. And what I had grabbed to replace it was one of these kits. It comes with 3 different size bulbs for different weed trimmers and different, power, gas-powered equipment. On the back, it even says that it does for Ryobi. So I'm going to replace it. Get it back up and going so it ain't leaking all over the place. I just took those screws out around the housing here, and then get to these a little easier. And I'm going to show you what it looks like once we get this taken out. Alright, so I took those 4 screws out, and this whole assembly here comes apart. This will stay dangling. This part here will stay dangling because it actually has the fuel lines and stuff hooked to the bottom of it. And actually this whole piece here comes off. And there's the screws. Now I have it sitting the same way it would go back on. So all I have to do is put it up like this and put it back up there and bolt it back on. But you just take this right off here like this. Pop that primer bulb out of there and pop in the correct size. Just kind of match them up, pop it in there, and then you can put it all back together. Okay, what I did is I popped the old one out right here. You can see there's a crack right there. I'm gonna get my camera right in the sun, but there's a crack right there in it. Put the new one in. It's pretty simple to do. Drop it in there, and then you gotta sit it back on here like this, and it fits on there pretty good, pretty snug. So now I'm gonna screw it back on. Take it back over here, screw it back onto there, and tighten this whole assembly back up. Okay, we got this screwed back on. I tightened the corners back and forth and got them nice and snug. Primer works. There ain't really no fuel in the tank, but we'll do a test run. Another thing to mention is when you undo these screws and then bolt from this piece back here, like I said, this part here will stay dangling because of the fuel lines, and this piece will come off all the way right here. Some fuel did come out, so you can catch it with a bucket, a rag down there, something you can easily throw away. It is fuel, so you want to be careful. The next step is to put this cover back on. And that's just slipping it back on. Let's do a little inspection here. Everything looks good up in here. We'll just check out everything right here real quick. Everything looks good. I say we pop that cover back on. Then we can put some fuel in it and make sure there ain't no leaks. Okay, we got the cover back on. All nice and tight. It primed up perfectly. Started right up. As of right now, there's no leak going on. I'm going to run for a second here. I already have, really. So I'm going to go ahead and shut her off real quick. And just to make sure I don't have any leaks, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sit her right up here on the cement. So if anything drips down, I'll see it on that cement right there. So that's how you replace a primer bulb on one of these Ryobis. Pretty simple, straightforward. When you take these apart, it won't hurt to clean up in here a little bit before you take it apart, so you don't get no gump up in there. I didn't, I risked having that issue, I guess. But pretty simple to do. So that bulb breaks, starts leaking out that bulb, it's easy replacement. Now these bulb kits, I'm not going to need the other two because they're bigger. I use actually the smallest one that was in this kit. You can order from Amazon, Ace, you can get them. Lowe's, Home Depot carries these little kits. I think this was like 12 bucks. You can get a lot cheaper on Amazon if you get the bulb just for the unit. You can get multiple pack for pretty cheap, cheaper than this. But it was simple, right down the road, easy to get, and it worked out perfect. So if your Ryobi or maybe some other brand weed trimmer has an issue where it's leaking from the bulb, where that bulb breaks, cracks, they're replaceable. These are pretty simple to do on these Ryobis, and the other ones are pretty simple as well. Well worth fixing versus replacing. This is a three-year-old unit, put through a lot of work. I'll do a little review on the unit here at another time, just for the fact that it's been 3 years and put through some pretty heavy paces here. This is the expanded unit, so I mean you can put different attachments on it. Pretty nice, and it does the job. And I'll do a little review on the Ryobi weed whacker, like I did a little one on the chainsaw I have. I wouldn't pass them up. They work pretty well and they're pretty reliable for what they are. I mean, I take care of quite a bit of property and all that bamboo. I mean, I take care of a lot, and it's been through a lot, so I mean, it's done me well. That's it. That's all I got going on here in Damascus. Thanks for stopping and viewing. Like I said, if that bulb breaks, that primer bulb, fix it. Get her back up and going again. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and check out our Facebook page at Damascus Life.